Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and we're back with a little bit of Minecraft. I've already discussed that in a different video. So what I want to do now is, I had an idea. I was thinking, let me fix this up here because I'm missing some liquiducts. And come on, there we go. There. So I was thinking, what if we generate power in a different way? So we want EU out of this system. Well, what if we take the whole still part and the generators out and don't generate biofuel, but use the biomass, the engines? Since they don't run on biofuel, they run on biomass. So the reason why this one has a 3 tank and this a 1 tank is because you generate biofuel, so the orange stuff, at a ratio of 3 to 1. So 3 biomass becomes 1 biofuel. These are 3 tanks, that is 1 tank. So this is equal. This is what you would get for the same amount of input. And I'm kind of curious to see what will happen. Run you through the setup. We have our biofuel here, liquiducts, pump it into 3 biogenerators just to speed it up a little bit, and that then pipes it into the MFSU here, which I'll show you is empty, and the generators are empty. Same principle over here. We have our biomass this time, liquiduct, 3 bio engines that all have 1 bucket of lava in them to get them going. We have our hopper here with some cobblestone. Crucible is empty as well. Our thermal generator empty, and our MFSU empty. So what I basically want to see is which one of these will fill the furthest, and there should be a nice example in how far I can get. And I guess I could add 1 more engine to each of these. Well, generator on that one, engine on that one, but I think this will suffice for now. And we'll flip the switches, and hopefully I hooked up everything alright. Okay, that's generating heat. Let's check if they all start working. Yes. And let's see if it does the same over here. Filling up, and filling up. And we are getting power. And with this one, it will take longer because we are powering a magma crucible. So it will take a lot longer before this one will actually sort of heat up and start working. We need to be at, I think 24 before 1 cobblestone will be burned. So this system will need a little bit of tweaking, and we'll probably need to set up multiple magma crucibles for this to work, but I just came up with this idea because I have so much cobblestone that I'm not using. So I'm just wondering if instead of using the biofuel, I can cut like this system in half. So cut off this whole part, this, and just basically have this system with the fermenters, the engines running the fermenters, and then just have a large tank and pumping that directly into biogas engines. Since this is lighting up, I'm pretty sure we're generating some lava here. And pumping that directly into the engines and making lava out of it. Burning up cobblestone that I'm not using anyways. And see if we can do it that way. So right now the generator here, of course, is way ahead. Because this one obviously is not making any lava yet. But this one might jump ahead quite a bit once it gets into making some lava. So I'll cut the video here, and I'll be back shortly, and hopefully with some results. And as you can see, we're back. The biofuel generators here, biogenerators, are almost out. They completely drained this tank instantly. And they are currently way in the lead. 400,000 in there. Look here, we're just barely over 100. So this one delivers the power 3 times roughly as fast. But this system will benefit a lot from scaling it up, because you are stuck with the conversion speed, I guess, of this thing. I don't think you can actually speed this up by adding more engines. I will try to add another engine, but so this system, you can't beat it really with that system when it comes down to delivering the power quickly. Now, the question remains is how efficient is it? This one's at 150, so 1/3 roughly of this one. However, take a look over here. It hasn't even emptied the tank. Then it has everything in the pipes. Then it also has everything in these engines itself. So it might not be as fast. And I will have to scale this system up to see how it scales, and I think it will scale very nicely. This generator is not doing a whole lot, so I'm only going to need one generator to do this, to output the energy. But I can have multiple magma crucibles stacked doing this. And the beauty is, I currently already have, I think, 1 or 2 magma crucibles laying around. I have 2 thermal generators laying around. So I already have most parts of this system done. I don't have to build it. And I'm hoping if you scale it up, you're gonna get a lot more speed out of this and a lot more consistency. Well, it's very consistent. It's just not very fast. The thing is, it gives, whenever it does this, let's give it a second here, blah, and it pukes it over into our thermal generator. It does turn this in a lot of power quickly. So it's definitely gonna come down to having more of these. One will not do, but we're not even down our tank yet, and this one has stalled at a nice round number, 512. Nice for comparison. We are almost at 200 here. And we are back for a second. I've added a couple of things that I want to show you. I've made a combustion engine version, which runs on a biofuel, so only 1 tank instead of 3. This one is still going. This is literally 3 hours later. These things are so efficient with 1 full tank, just lasts forever. We're at 1.6 million EU stored. 1.2 million EU stored. This one has stopped at 512. This is a different version with 2 crucibles set up with both 3 pumps apiece. I've paused this pump for a little bit so they're alternating. As you can see, that one will stop shortly and this one is going. They'll briefly be on for the same time. 400 to go, 800 to go. So this one will turn off. This one is then still on. And then this one should be right about done by the time this one runs out. So it's pretty sustainable energy, but only at 24 EU a tick, because only one of them is usually on at a time, or at least one is on at any given time. So I'm just trying this to see if this is more or less efficient as the method over there, to see if scaling this up has any difference, any more loss in any way. Or if it just scales 1-to-1 and just speeds it up. In that case, then adding more of this system would be better. And to finalize this whole thing, we have this setup, which is 4 engines per crucible. As you can see, it keeps the energy a lot better, and these things are actually being filled before they're emptied out. I can talk, really. So we'll take a look here until it's almost gone. Dum, 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 dum. And you'll see from here the new lava coming in soon, hopefully. Or here. Oh, there we go. Before it reached the bottom, new lava came in. So this is now effectively faster than this can process it, which means it's constantly ticking out the energy. As you can see, that's 1000 EU every second, at least. So this system would be ideal if this is at the same efficiency as this system. That would be awesome. So what we'll do is we'll grab my EU reader, run over here. So this system is outputting 28 or 48 EU depending on how many are on. So that one will fluctuate a bit. This system, on the other hand, is constantly at 48 EU a tick. Now if we move over to this one, that's been done for a while, but of course you can't measure it right now. But this system actually outputs about 50, roughly 50 EU a tick. But it's so inefficient, only 512 out of it, and it burned through it in less than, I don't know, like 15 minutes or so? Maybe half an hour? Nah, not even half an hour, way less. About 15 minutes and only generated that. So it does deliver quite a bit of power, but it burns through it so quickly. So this is actually a pretty bad method of doing it. The biogenerators are pretty damn garbage, surprisingly. We can take a look at what this system is doing. This would be my sort of final setup. And we are at 400k right now. The engines are still well over half. And this system was only started up, I don't know, 5 minutes ago. So this one seems to deliver the power that's equal to the best setup we had so far, which was the generator, but burning at way better rate. It does require a little bit more material, and you have to burn cobblestone for it, but I think I have like 60k cobblestone, so I don't care. And the thing you shouldn't forget is that all I have to do is feed these engines. I can feed these engines easily with this system. As you can see, the system is, just full. It could power all these bio engines here, bio generators, and still have spare. And that is with this stuff, the orange stuff. The green stuff is even easier to produce because you make 3 times the amount of that than you have that. 3-to-1 conversion rate. So it's going to be easy as hell to generate the biomass for this, to fuel this system. So I can ramp my tree farm and my biogen section down by quite a bit and use this for power generation, and I think we have a winner. But we'll see how it scales, and I'll be back once all of these are done, and we'll check the efficiency of all of them. And we are back once again. It's still running. The combustion engine is still running, the biogas engine is still running, but I think I'm gonna wrap this up. This has literally taken me 4 hours so far. Just a simple test, right? So, to recap, this has, like I said, been a while for me, so I'll just recap everything because I don't remember what I said before. The biogenerators, very inefficient. They output almost 50 EU a tick, but only for about 15 minutes and 512k. You can see on the sign here. So for 10 buckets of biofuel, they deliver 512k EU. Now, that would be a telephone. Let me just kill that. Sorry about that. The biogas version, I turned this on at the same time and I gave it the same equivalent amount of fuel as per production, like I said, the 3-to-1 ratio, and it's still running. As you can see, it still has 2 buckets to go. But this is taking way too long for me, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. It's still working, it's still outputting, but it's at this system, as you can see, now it's finally outputting. Now it's generating power, so this comes in ticks. So it's about a minute of power, a minute off. Minute of power, minute off. So if that is enough for your base, that you can live off the battery, then sure, this would work. But if you need constant power for things that are always on, I don't think this would be sufficient. The exact same goes for the combustion engine. So if you have biofuel, this one seems to be pretty much just as effective. I turned this one on a lot later, so it might be slightly less efficient. It's hard to say right now, but it has already generated 2.1 million versus 2.5 million on this one. So it seems to be pretty much the same thing. Only problem is, with this one you need water to cool them. So slightly more material cost. I don't know about the combustion engine versus the biogas engine, but I'm leaving production cost out of it for now. So this one delivers a lot of power, but very briefly. Now, I went over to the next system. As you can see, the engines have started to stall. I made a little bit of a boo-boo. Normally this wouldn't be a problem, but in this test it was all about the fuel efficiency, I guess, and I didn't do my piping right. So some engines got more fuel than others, because, you know, I did it wrong, but it doesn't matter. These are out because they're below 1 bucket. These still have just under 2 buckets, so. But anyways, I had these set up so that they were pulsating after another. So then this one would be filled with lava, and before this one would run out, this one would get lava. So you had a constant stream of 24 EU a tick, because that's what these things output. Which wasn't bad, but it's only 24 EU a tick. Now, I thought that, well, I can do that one better by adding 2 more engines on the bottom of each. And again, this one has piping issues, so the fuel wasn't put in every engine at the same rate. So as you can see, it's kind of messed up. So that's why some of them stalled. But this system, once all engines are running, actually could keep up with the crucibles with generating lava, and they would keep the generators filled at all times. So you would output almost 50 EU, so that would be the same as the biogenerators there, and constantly output it. So we would be using the biomass, which seems to be a lot more effective than a biofuel, unless you use the engines, the combustion engines that also require water, so a lot more piping everywhere. Can you imagine having to have water piping around this as well? That's insane. It's a lot of extra piping. So yeah, this is how it normally would run. As you can see, the thousands are adding up quickly. So this one's at 2.1 million, while that one was at 2.7, the longest running one. This one has been on for about 40 minutes. So 2.1 million in 40 minutes. So this is by far the best running. I haven't let them finish completely, so I can't compare them directly. But if I would have done the piping right, I would say that this is the exact same efficiency as the single version. The single crucible and 3-engine version of it. So the system doesn't lose anything from scaling up. You don't use more fuel. This one is delivering a lot more power, a lot quicker. I mean, think about it. That one has been running for about 4 to 5 hours now, I'm not entirely sure. And at 2.7, this one has been running 40 minutes and is at 2.2 and has stalled multiple engines because of the... Here, this one is only running on what? 2 engines apiece? Yeah. So right now it's slow as hell. But if this would have been done properly, it would have overtaken the other one and it would have seized up because all of them would have been empty by now. So it would have delivered the power at the very least 4 times as fast with the same efficiency of power consumption, just better output. So this is my winner. This is what my power system will be like, and it will be fed by a couple of fermenters that I still have to figure out how many I'm going to need to fill this, but it's not going to be a lot. It's going to be a relatively small system that will generate the exact same of power that I have right now with my pumping nether. So it's going to be a very nice replacement for pumping the nether. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.